Hallo und herzlich willkommen zurück zu einer weiteren Folge von Vampyr. In der letzten Folge haben wir uns unser Büro mal angeschaut, haben das Blut von Edward analysiert, aber bis jetzt kam halt noch nichts Richtiges raus und jetzt müssen wir nach Antiseptikern suchen und dadurch müssen wir in die Leichenhalle gehen, da alle aufgebraucht sind und wir jetzt irgendwas zusammenmischen müssen. Aber dann habe ich letzte Folge irgendwas hier angeschaut, was das hier jetzt verursacht hat, was auch immer das ist. Und dazu müsste ich rausgehen.
I cannot enter.
Ja moin, ich kann nicht rein? Ja moin. Und jetzt kann ich aufmachen. Alles klar. Hä? Okay.
Good evening, madam. Can I help you?
It's my son who needs you, sir.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. How can I help your son?
I'm Beatrice Goswick, mother of Mortimer Goswick. Could you check on him, please, Dr. Reed? I've heard much of your talents as a physician.
Erzählen Sie mir von sich.
What can you tell me about yourself, Mrs. Goswick?
Not much to say. Just take care of my Mortimer and I'll cover all the expenses. That's all that matters.
So.
May I ask if you have an occupation, Mrs. Goswick?
I'm a teacher by profession. I teach young women who are more ambitious about their futures than their families.
Are you really that rich? Most of the patients here are of a more humble origin, if I may say so.
Yes, thanks to my husband. May he rest in peace. I can cover any needed medical expenses.
Okay.
What do you think of your reception here? Any complaints?
I have had the uttermost reservations about this hospital since we arrived. But we had no other choice, considering the state of emergency.
Is there something in particular that's bothering?
Beatrice stellt die Effektivität des... Ja, kann ich mir auch vorstellen, meine Dame. Liegt vielleicht auch daran, weil wir gerade mitten in der spanischen Grippe sind.
Some of the staff were not especially welcoming. I suspect they're not accustomed to dealing with patients of such social standing.
Tell me more about your arrival at the Pembroke Hospital. What gave you such a bad first impression?
The ambulance driver was quite rude, for a start. And that nurse, Miss Hawkins, seems to have quite a dubious attitude.
What do you mean?
She managed to secure a bed for my son despite the epidemic. It was a relief, but it wasn't cheap.
Pepper reserviert gegen einen finanziellen Ausgleich Betten für Patienten. Ach du Kacke, sind wir hier korrupt oder was? Ach du Scheiße.
She charged you for a bed?
Yes, and I paid without question, considering the urgency of the situation.
I share your concern, Mrs. Goswick. Be sure that I'll talk to the people involved.
I don't expect compensation, Dr. Reed. But I'm aware such behavior would not be tolerated in other hospitals.
Hinweis benötigt. Kann nichts machen im Moment.
Goodbye, Mrs. Goswick.
Reden wir mit dem Sohn.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Reed. Can I help at all?
No,
Really? Why are you here then?
I don't want to talk. My throat hurts too much.
I suppose that this pain is the reason you're here. Is someone taking care of you?
Yes. And no.
Could you at least tell me your name, sir?
Mortimer. Mortimer Goswick.
How painful is your throat, Mr. Goswick?
So painful I'd rather not talk at all, Doctor.
I'm sure you realize a doctor and his patient have to communicate, sir. Would it help if I gave you some paper and a pen?
Not really.
I see. Then maybe it's not just your throat that hurts, Mr. Goswick. Perhaps your sore throat is just the consequence of something more hurtful.
Yes, maybe. But I don't want to talk or even write about it now.
Okay.
Why did your mother have you hospitalized here? She seems convinced this is a bad hospital.
My mother just wants the best for me. She won't rest while I'm here. She'd go all the way to hell and back to help me.
Pembroke Hospital may look unorthodox, but rest assured you're in good hands here.
It's not me you have to convince, Dr. Reed. It's my mother.
Is your mother bothering you? As your doctor, I can ask her to leave you alone if you would prefer.
That's tempting, Doctor. But you have no idea what my mother is capable of. She would tie herself to my bed if you asked her to leave.
Alles klar.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Goswick.
I don't want to talk, Doctor.
Warum ist es immer
How
noch?
painful is your throat, Mr. Goswick?
So painful, I'd rather not talk at all, Doctor.
Da.
I'll let you get some rest then.
I'm alright. Don't waste your time with me.
Dann haben wir jetzt alles gemacht hier in dem Raum. Dann nur noch den hier.
Good evening, Doctor. I believe we're going to be working together.
Dr. Reed. Dr. Swansea informed us of your arrival, but I could not dare to believe we'd have such good fortune. Such an honor, sir.
Thank you. And you are?
I am Thoreau Strickland, Dr. Thoreau Strickland. I'm a great admirer of your work, Dr. Reed.
Leben in London.
Please, could you tell me something about yourself?
I'm a great admirer of your work concerning blood transfusion, Dr. Reed. I run my own experiments. I'm convinced it's the future.
What made you choose to be a doctor?
I'm not ashamed to admit you and your work have inspired me. I am honored to have the opportunity to work by your side.
It's always a pleasure to share scientific and medical knowledge with someone eager to learn. I'll be glad to help you if I can.
This epidemic may be the century's most terrible disaster, but I'm convinced that we, as doctors, are the only ones able to defeat it.
I based my technique on my mentor's research. He helped me perfect my method. What is yours?
I'd rather not talk about it. For now, it's just theories and first approach. My process is purely experimental and unsuccessful.
As long as you're cautious and methodical.
Theos Bluttransfusionsexperimente waren bisher Unerfolg.
You may remain empty-handed, but you won't fail.
You're not the first one to warn me, but I am convinced knowledge is the main weapon against the ravages of this epidemic.
Das stimmt allerdings, ja.
What can you tell me about the Pembroke?
Well, it has always been an honor to work with Dr. Swansea. But with your arrival, I can't think of a better opportunity to learn about blood transfusion.
You seem quite optimistic. It's a rare and precious attitude in these difficult times.
I'm convinced that this epidemic is a test of endurance and dedication for us men of science.
Questions remain about our capacity to resolve the situation.
True. Last summer, during the first wave of the epidemic, I used to joke with Milton about the extra work. We're not smiling now.
Do you need help with anything in particular?
Well, yes, maybe. I'm waiting for a batch of products I ordered for my personal research, yet my supplier seems to have vanished.
Do you want me to play the errand boy for you?
Oh no, Dr. Reed. But if you went personally to his shop, what with your reputation and all, he wouldn't dare to refuse the products I need.
I see. Well, give me the address, for I may pass by if I have time.
Ja, neue Untersuchung. Danke. Das war gerade das. Über die...
Tell me more about your willingness to experiment with new medical techniques.
Harvey Fiddick is a patient suffering from a severe injury that could cripple him if not treated correctly. I'm convinced your blood transfusion technique could help him.
What is it you really want? To save him? Or to prove your point?
Fair question. I want nothing but to save my patient, Dr. Reed. Especially since I know Mr. Fiddick's story.
Tell me Mr. Fiddick's story.
Our first diagnosis was compromised because Mr. Fiddick lied to us about the real origin of his injury. He first claimed it was an accident.
But why would he hide such crucial information from us?
Because he is a proud father, ashamed of putting his children at risk because of his own negligence.
Ah, hier. Mach dich selbst für so eine... Ah, der ist voll. Okay. Den haben wir 100%.
This personal involvement could also appear to be a lack of impartiality. You must know that a good surgeon must remain neutral.
I agree. But that does not excuse Dr. Ackroyd's behavior, a man who did not even take time to converse with his patient.
Do you think keeping his distance was a mistake?
All I know is that I'm taking care of human beings with desires, hopes, and fears. Not some biological machine comprised of blood, bones, and flesh.
Okay. Ja, damit haben wir alles momentan.
Goodbye, Dr. Strickland.
So. Den könnte ich jetzt eigentlich komplett wegführen, ne? Eigentlich wollte ich hier rausgehen, weil da letzte Folge irgendwas war mit Untersuche irgendwas hier. Hier hinten war was. Hier ist Blut. Sehe ich gerade richtig? Hier ist Blut. Okay. Jetzt haben wir 3 Untersuchungen oder die Hauptquest. Was machen wir? Da drüben... Moment, wir können ja überprüfen, wie viele... Es fehlen noch 4 Leute, dann haben wir alle in dem Krankenhaus mit den Leuten gesprochen hier. Den haben wir schon fertig. Hier fehlt noch einer, hier fehlt noch alles. Naja. Naja, dann. Die haben wir schon gesprochen. Der ist hier drin.
It's locked, all right.
Naja, dann. Story. Dann gehen wir jetzt in die Leichenhalle. Da hinten ist ein Arzt. Hä?
Thelma Howcroft said she was being watched by vampire hunters. Where are they hiding? I should investigate.
Ja, das könnte auch dir helfen. Ja, du bist noch neu.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Reed.
Always a pleasure to meet a colleague, sir. Especially when he was supposedly dead.
A colleague. Are you a doctor too?
Not anymore, sir. I used to be Dr. Rakesh Chadana. Now, I'm just Mr. Chadana, pawnbroker and humble guardian of this morgue.
What do you mean, you used to be a doctor? Was your license revoked?
No, sir. It is just that I like to be precise. I run a little pawn shop while taking care of the dead. But I used to be a real doctor.
Das ist also auch ein Ding.
Are you afraid or uneasy being surrounded by so many corpses?
Why should I? These bodies are empty vessels. Flesh left to decay. Poof. No soul anymore. All gone.
Die meisten fürchten sich.
An interesting point of view. And quite an exotic one, too. Most people fear, or at least have a respect, for dead flesh.
Sir, as a medic during the war, I learned to face my death and the death of others. It's the pain we have to tame, not death itself.
Okay. Rakesh hat seit seiner Arbeit als Richter keine Angst vor dem Tod. Alles klar.
How did you get this job?
After I left the army, I worked as an undertaker down by the docks. A dangerous place with many an unpleasant business there. Milton Hooks helped me get a job here.
Okay. Naja, da haben wir wenigstens jemanden, der sich um die Leichen kümmert.
Have we met before?
I don't think so, sir. Why?
When we first talked, you said you were glad to meet me since I was reported dead.
Funny story, sir. Your sister came here a few nights ago. You were missing, and she was looking for your body. She must be very relieved now.
Ja, leider haben wir sie getötet. Naja.
Do you work here alone?
Yes, very easy work, sir. All I have to do is watch a few bodies. The situation was very different when the main morgue was still open.
Why do you have to watch these bodies?
Because these poor fellows have no names. We keep them in case someone comes looking for the missing. Sadly, very rarely happens.
Why close the hospital's main morgue?
It was for sanitary reasons after the beginning of the epidemic. Cadavers had to be moved to the nearest mass grave.
A pawnbroker? I expect you get all types of people here.
Yes, sir. All kind of people. For I sell all kind of goods.
Wer kommt hierher?
Who comes here to trade with you? It's very unhygienic, even unsafe. Diseases can spread. For the customers, for the hospital.
I'm very cautious, sir. I've been a doctor, remember? And all my clients are good people. In fact, I think I only know good people.
Okay.
What kind of goods?
With the quarantine, it's not always easy to buy things. So I trade, I exchange. Some people sell, some others buy. I like to help.
Gut.
Since you're not afraid of dying, do you believe in life after death, Rakesh?
No, I believe we must do all the good we can while alive. For our time is short, and the obstacles are endless.
Do you think you would enjoy immortality as a concept?
I don't think so. Don't mistake me. I love life, and I'd like to live a long life. But everything has to decay, sir. Even goodwill.
Do you really believe goodwill cannot last?
As I said, sir, everything decays. If I was to never die, goodness, I would be bored or worse. And I like to be helpful, sir.
Quite depressing, wouldn't you say?
Yes, but the good news is, we'll all die before losing our humanity, sir.
So you're ready to die?
No, I am not. I don't fear death, for I won't see it. What troubles me is the pain my death will inflict to those I know.
You're a wise man, Mr. Chidana.
No, Dr. Reed. I am a foolish man. But I like to think otherwise.
Alles klar.
Please show me what you have to sell.
Of course. It's just trinkets and curios, really. But I'm sure they can be useful.
Opium. Eine rätselhafte Formel. Okay.
I cannot enter.
Dahinter flackt eine Leiche, da flacken ein Haufen Leichen hier. So. Dann kümmern wir uns jetzt um die... Sorry, falscher Weg. Um die... Quest. Wo muss ich denn lang dafür? Ah, hier war es, gell? Ja. Okay.
Scowl voices in the garden. I should investigate. If they were to find somebody.
Moment, welches Ding habe ich denn gerade gemacht? Unwissentlich. Aha. Aha. Naja.
It's locked.
Außenrum. Ich verstehe. Ich muss jetzt durch den Garten und diese Untersuchung hier machen, richtig? Wenn wir schon hier sind. So. Kacke, Alter. Kacke. Holy moly, erstmal jetzt wieder Ausdauer. Holy. Gut. Die halten viel zu viel aus. So. Heilige Scheiße, du haltest viel zu viel aus. Okay. Gut, du hältst nicht so viel aus wie der andere. So. Komm. Gut. Komm. Jetzt ab. Na, doch nicht. Gut. Jetzt ausweichen. Gut, hier, jetzt ab, Blut. Gut, so. Fotografie in einer Brieftasche. Das Foto eines verliebten lächelnden Pärchens. Auf der Rückseite steht Milton und Pieper für immer.
So, Mr. Hooks and Nurse Hawkins are an item. Those two have hidden their affections well.
Okay. Oder die waren Level 6. Und ich kann jetzt am Bett gehen und mich entwickeln. Wir sammeln die irgendwann anders ein. Jetzt gehen wir erstmal hier weiter. So, erstmal haben wir hier eine Truhe. Und betreten die Leichenhalle. Okay. Warum ladet das jetzt? Ja. Genau deswegen rede ich ja mit jedem, wegen diesen örtlichen Untersuchungen. Habe ich gerade richtig gehört? Okay, wir gucken uns noch ein paar Minütchen um. Deswegen wurde wahrscheinlich das hier zugesperrt. Ich höre, glaube ich, Skulk. Oder wie hießen die anderen? Moment. Ey, ich wollte nicht raus. Alter, ich wollte doch gar nicht raus hier. Danke dafür. Jetzt muss ich wieder rein. Alter, warum haben wir die so eine große Ladesequenz da? Aber ich hinterfrage es einfach nicht. Und schau, dass ich jetzt ein bisschen was finde. So. Ich muss nach oben. Ich höre hier etwas übelst Krankes, nicht? Aber ich glaube, ich gehe tatsächlich auf den Blutspeer. Da war ich gerade. So. Hier ist nichts.
It's locked, all right.
Ich muss nach unten. Genau. Ich sehe was du nicht bist und das ist ein Vampir.
Balls of Mars, fortifiers. As popular as they are ineffective. But they do contain iron tartrate, and that might prove itself useful.
Okay. So. Und down.
Behavior is similar to the infected William Bishop. Must be the same strain. This sickness moves faster than influenza.
Okay. Alter, hier sind richtig viel Blut hier.
I cannot enter.
Irgendwo muss auch der Schlüssel sein. Da ist er ja.
This key will surely grant me access to the basement.
Ja. Bestimmt. Ah, deswegen. Gut. So, einmal beißen. Gut, hier. Gut. Stimmt, ich habe ja auch die. Sense. Gut, dann würde ich jetzt tatsächlich sagen, ich beende die Folge hier. Vielen Dank fürs Zuschauen und in der nächsten Folge schauen wir, dass wir den Keller betreten. Ciao. Euer Gladius.